What do you do when you've given everything and nobody listens? You've warned them, you've pleaded with them, you've spent years trying to save them, and they look at you and laugh. Most people would give up quietly, pack their bags, walk away, and never look back. But what happens when a prophet does that? This is the story of Yunus, and it begins not with a whale, but with a broken man who had enough. Nineveh, one of the greatest cities of the ancient world, located in modern-day northern Iraq, near the city of Mosul. At its peak, Nineveh had over 100,000 people, massive walls, towering gates, a civilization that felt invincible. And like every great civilization that felt invincible, they had forgotten Allah completely. Idol worship was everywhere. Injustice was normal. Corruption ran deep. Into this city, Allah sent Yunus ibn Matta. He came with one message: abandon your idols, return to Allah, or punishment is coming. He preached for years, day after day, year after year. He stood in their streets. He spoke in their gatherings. He warned them in public and in private. And they rejected him every single time. Now understand something. Every prophet faced rejection. Ibrahim was thrown into a fire. Saleh watched his people mock a miracle. Nuh preached for 900 years. Rejection was part of the mission. But Yunus reached a breaking point. He looked at his people one last time, and something inside him snapped. Not out of cowardice, not out of weakness, but out of sheer human exhaustion. He had given everything and received nothing. So he made a decision. He was leaving. He walked to the shore, found a ship, and sailed away from Nineveh without waiting for Allah's permission. That single decision would change everything. The ship sailed into open water, and then the sea turned. Waves rose from nowhere. The sky darkened. The ship groaned under the pressure of the storm. The sailors were terrified. In those times, sailors believed that when a storm this violent hit, it meant someone on board had angered the heavens. Someone had to go overboard. They decided to cast lots. The lot fell on Yunus. They couldn't believe it. He was a noble man, a respected man. They cast again. Yunus. They cast a third time, hoping for a different answer. Yunus. He knew this was not coincidence. He stood up and without a word jumped into the sea. The waves swallowed him instantly, and from the depths a whale came. Not by accident, not by nature. By Allah's command, the whale opened its mouth and swallowed Yunus whole. Think about where Yunus was now, inside a whale, in the middle of the ocean, in the crushing depth of the water. 3 layers of darkness. The darkness of the night above the ocean, the darkness of the ocean's depths below, the darkness of the whale's belly around him. No light, no sound except the groaning of the deep, no way out. Complete, total, absolute darkness. And in that darkness, time stopped. There was nothing to do, nowhere to go, no one to talk to, nothing to plan, just silence. And in that silence, Yunus was alone with himself. And he realized something. He was not just physically trapped. He had made a mistake. He had left his mission without permission. He had let his frustration decide for him. He had walked away from the people Allah had sent him to save. A prophet had abandoned his post. And so in the belly of the whale, in the darkest place a human being has ever been, Yunus prayed. Not a long prayer, just one line, but the Quran preserved it forever. There is no deity except you. Exalted are you. Indeed, I have been of the wrongdoers. No excuses, no explanations, no list of everything he had tried. Just, you are perfect, I was wrong. 3 words that cracked open the darkness. The Quran says, had he not been of those who glorify Allah, he would have remained inside the whale until the day of resurrection. But he did glorify Allah. In the darkest moment of his life, he turned toward his Lord, and Allah does not ignore that. The whale rose to the surface and cast Yunus onto the shore. He landed on bare earth and lay there, unable to move. The stomach acids of the whale had done their work. His skin, which had never seen such darkness, such heat, such pressure, was raw, damaged, exposed. The sunlight that touched him felt like fire. The breeze that passed over him felt like needles. He could not stand, could not walk, could barely breathe. This was a prophet of Allah, lying alone on a beach, body broken, skin raw, no shelter, no water, no one. And here is where the story becomes something else entirely. Allah did not send an angel with a message, did not send a revelation with instructions, did not remind Yunus of his mission. Instead, Allah grew a plant, a gourd plant, right there on that beach. Its broad leaves spread over Yunus, blocking the sun that burned his skin, holding the moisture that cooled his body, creating a shelter from nothing, just for him. Think about what Allah is saying here, without words. You ran from me. You made a mistake. You ended up broken on a beach, and my first response is to shade you, to cool you, to heal you, to take care of you before anything else. That is who Allah is. Not just the one who decrees punishment, but the one who grows a plant on a beach for a broken prophet who needs shade. Slowly, day by day, Yunus healed. His skin recovered. His strength returned. His body remembered what it felt like to stand. And when he was ready, Allah sent him back. Back to Nineveh, the same city he had fled, the same people he had given up on, the same streets where he had preached for years and been laughed at. But when Yunus arrived, Nineveh was not the same city he had left. When the prophet had walked out, when his footsteps faded from their streets, something happened inside the people of Nineveh. A heaviness settled over the city. The sky looked different. The air felt different. And the people looked at each other and felt something they had never felt before. Fear. Not of Yunus, of the truth he had been carrying. The words he had spoken for years, the warnings they had laughed at, suddenly felt very real, very close. And then one person repented, then another, then another. It spread through Nineveh like a fire in dry grass, unstoppable. Old men fell to their knees in the streets. Young men wept openly. Women gathered their children and prayed. They separated mothers from their young, even the animals, so that the cries of the young would rise to the heavens as a sign of their desperate repentance. 100,000 people turned to Allah at the same time. The Quran says, "Then is there any city that believed and its faith benefited it?" Yes, the people of Yunus. In the entire Quran, The people of Nineveh are the only nation that was saved after punishment was already decreed. Every other nation that rejected their prophet was destroyed. Ad, gone. Thamud, gone. The people of Lut, gone. The people of Nuh, gone. But Nineveh believed at the last moment. And Allah's mercy swallowed the punishment whole, just as the whale had swallowed Yunus. When Yunus walked back into Nineveh, 100,000 people were waiting. The same streets, the same faces, but different eyes. Eyes that had seen the truth and chosen it. He had left them in frustration. Allah had saved them in his absence and brought him back to witness the miracle he thought would never happen. This story is not about a whale. The whale was just a vessel to carry a broken man back to himself. Yunus was a prophet, chosen by Allah, guided by Allah, supported by Allah, and even he reached a point of exhaustion. Even he made a mistake. Even he needed to be completely broken before he could see clearly. The darkness of the whale was not a punishment. It was a classroom, with no distractions, no noise, no escape, just a man and his Lord and the truth between them. You will have your own whale. Maybe you are inside it right now. A darkness so complete you cannot see a way forward. A situation so impossible there is no logical solution. A moment when you have tried everything and nothing has worked. In that moment, do not make the mistake of silence. Say what Yunus said, La ilaha illa anta, subhanaka, inni kuntu minaz zalimin. There is no God but you. You are perfect. I was wrong. It worked in the belly of a whale, in the middle of the ocean, in the darkest place on earth. It will work wherever you are. Nineveh is gone today. Its ruins lie near Mosul, Iraq. Archaeologists have excavated its massive walls, its ancient gates, its crumbled palaces. The city that laughed at a prophet, then believed when he left, then was saved by Allah's mercy. The whale released him, the plant healed him, the people were waiting, and Allah had planned all of it from before Yunus ever set foot on that ship. Nothing is ever wasted. Not the years of preaching that felt useless, not the exhaustion that broke him, not the darkness inside the whale, not the raw skin on the beach. Every single piece was part of the plan. Even your darkest moment is part of the plan.